3:30 CBS, Alabama minus 15.5 points. Ooh. On the road at the Florida Gators. Needless to say at this point, but Bama first in the polls, 2-0. They killed Miami. They killed Mercer. Florida is up to 11th now, and they are 2-0 after beating Florida Atlantic and South Florida. So, just to be clear on where I stand, I think the probability of an upset here is very low. Alabama is going to win this football game. But this is a big number at home, Dan.
It is.
It's a big number in the swamp.
And in arguably the loudest place to play a college football game. Yeah.
Big number in the swamp. It's a true road spot for Alabama and Bryce Young. Remind me again why, and I know it's splitting hairs, why you are a little bit concerned about Alabama. We talked about it on the last show.
Yeah, I think Bryce Jones is 20% more skittish in the pocket and uncomfortable in the pocket than I'd like, especially throwing into, I think Mercer was throwing a lot of zone stuff at him. I am a little bit concerned that Alabama, while they have absolute dudes out wide, the experience that they could lean on, especially in the red zone with guys like, Henry Ruggs and Devontae Smith and Najee Harris out of the backfield, like the comfort blanket situation at Alabama, with the combination of the new skill guys that we're just trying to see who emerges consistently, and Bryce Young being a new starter, and there being a new coordinator, that concerns me a little bit. The offensive line I'm not worried about, even though they had some down moments against Mercer, whatever. They're hurt on the edge. Obviously, Chris Allen out for, I think, a long time, and then Will Anderson got beat up last week against Mercer. I don't know what his status is. I'm concerned about Emory Jones and his decision-making. I'm concerned about what Florida's defense is able to do in terms of miscues against some bigger teams. But Dan Mullen, with his recent track record against Nick Saban in Alabama, and in big games, and with the tantalizing possibility of what Anthony Richardson offers, depending on how much he's played against Alabama.
I think you said it best last week. There's a little bit of the clouds parting there for Anthony Richardson, isn't there?
Yeah, Dan Mullen talked about that. Look, if Anthony Richardson is clearly a better playmaker, both with his feet and with his arm, than Emory Jones, there's a reason why he's not starting. And I imagine that reason is he does not have the command of the offense in the same way, that the playbook is not as open with Anthony Richardson as it is with Emory Jones, for better or for worse. And that would be the concern, that if you're playing Anthony Richardson against Alabama, you're confident in calling plays within a certain personnel group, or certain just like one or two personnel groupings, or just 12 plays in general, right? Like that you're not as able to throw everything you could at Alabama with Anthony Richardson if they're able to spy him and keep him sort of well within within reach. So that's the concern, I would imagine, with Anthony Richardson, that he's just not there yet in terms of command. But I don't think Emory Jones is beating Alabama.
No.
So I think they throw enough wrinkles at Bama to keep this closer than 15.5. So I'm going to take those points, but man, I'm not in my confidence jacuzzi with that pick.
Yeah, I think the chances of a Florida cover are significantly better if Richardson is in there and healthy. Keep in mind, he had a long touchdown run last week, and he kind of pulled up lame with a hammy. I haven't seen any updates on his health going into this game. That doesn't necessarily mean he needs to start, but I think having him at the ready definitely gives Dan Mullen another weapon. He's a big kid. He's 6'4", he's 250. You can already see in the limited ways that they've used him a little bit of the Tebow treatment. Fake it up the middle, maybe a jump pass possibility. Hasn't turned the ball over, so maybe a little bit more trustworthy with the football. Who knows if there are limitations on the playbook side of things. But you can definitely see a situation in which he comes in there and he gives Bama trouble the way other mobile quarterbacks in the past have given Alabama trouble. I don't think they're beating Alabama. Case in point, okay? But 15.5 is a big number at home. I think the better bet's on the over. The last I saw the over was 58. I think there are going to be points in this game. So like 41-27 maybe. I could see Alabama winning this game, but I like Florida at home plus the points. 15.5 is a big number in the Swamp. So again, 3 in a row, we agree.
So this is something I have trouble with. What right now is the case for Alabama being unquestionably bulletproof?
What's the case? The case is that
I think their offensive line's great. I think their linebacking core is great. I really like their secondary, but there is this element to Alabama where they had the continuity in personnel. Mac Jones was there forever. Sark was there, in relative terms forever. Like, they earned that last year. I'm curious as to why we are just, and I'm including myself in this, why we're just so confident. Like, yeah, Alabama can go to the Swamp and win this game. Yeah, of course.
Well, look, and the cautionary tale, Dan, cautionary tale is that we gave Clemson the benefit of the doubt in week 1. They lost.
Yep.
And we gave them benefit of the doubt with a new starting quarterback, if only because of what they had done in the past.
Right.
That's a fair perspective, but they lost to Georgia. Yeah. Close game.
Didn't score a touchdown.
To be clear. Same deal with Ohio State last week against Oregon, right? Yep. You give them the benefit of the doubt because of who they are. I think Alabama has proven over a longer period of time that under Nick Saban, they can withstand much more turnover, whether it's at the starting quarterback spot, whether it's on the coaching staff, incredible turnover to the NFL year in and year out. Nick Saban has withstood that. So maybe he gets a little bit more credence when it comes to that very argument.
Totally.
But I think it's totally fair. I don't know. Look, Miami might not be that good. They might not be that good. Right. We will find out more for sure this weekend about Bryce Young, about Alabama as they go to the Swamp. 15.5 is a big number.
Right now, we are specifically looking at Alabama's win over Miami when talking about the 2021 squad specifically to say they're the clear class of the sport.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? No,
that's true.
It's fascinating to me. And it might prove to be the correct thing because the track record indicates that if you're going to wager any amount of money on who's going to win the national championship any given year, Alabama's as good an option as any. But man, this is a tough spot. I don't love Florida's defense. I like Alabama's defense a lot more. I really do like Florida's skill talent, but man, there's just like an assumption that's wild. And so I'm not fully there. I'm a little bit nervous for Alabama, frankly. Hey, thanks for watching. Consider, if you haven't, subscribing to the channel and hitting that little bell to be alerted and listening to the podcast at solidverbal.com.